Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Well, I have to say, I didn't think I was going to be here today. I didn't think I was going to live to tell the tale. Long story short, well, Thursday, call out, Newcastle. 2 diesel pumps just weren't working, completely dead. I went through the processes of elimination to find out what they were, what the problem was. And again, to cut a long story short, when I found the problem, I powered them down. Then I beefed them back up, put the power back onto the pumps. And each of the pumps have got 2 sets of heavy duty batteries, really big batteries. So as I powered them up, I clicked the switch to bring them in, and pump 1 acted and flashed. So the batteries flashed, but there was no boom and no explosion. I was 2 feet away from those batteries when it flashed. If it had boomed, which is what it would do 9 times out of 10, so the pump engineers have been saying, then it would have exploded and it would have fragmented me and possibly killed me. So it seems as if I dodged a bullet that day, Thursday, in fact. And it's worrying because it's the part of the job which you never know what's going to happen. And a diesel pump, I don't know if you know this, but when they start up in maximum revolutions. So as soon as it beeps up, it's straight in like that, and it thunders in. That's how a diesel pump works. It'd be nice if you could just bring it in on slow revolutions, like on a delta. Sometimes electric pumps, you can put a delta on them, and it comes in on slow revolutions, and then after 30 seconds, it beefs up and goes into full. But on the diesel pump, it comes straight in. If you get lead acid batteries that are getting low, they're not being properly maintained, then there's a good chance that when you're asking for the pump to come in, it's pulling all the current from each set of batteries, because on a diesel pump, you have 2 sets of batteries. And so it pulls both of them in. And sometimes it arcs across. But if there's low level cells, dangerously low, then there's definitely a good chance it will explode. But to get a flash on the battery not followed by a boom is something very rare, because you always normally get a boom if there's a flash. And this is what everybody's been saying. This is what the pump engineers have been saying. So they said, Martin, you were lucky. And I do feel lucky. But maybe I've been spared for a reason. I don't know. And my mum needs me at this time, She's getting elderly. She can't do the things that she used to do, and I'm doing a heck of a lot for her at the moment. And maybe I don't know. I mean, I don't sort of believe in people being spared for a reason, but really, I shouldn't be here. I should have been completely peppered with molten hot lead and acid. That's what should have happened to me on Thursday, and maybe killed outright. But it didn't happen. And I have to thank my lucky stars for that, don't I? I tell you, people, you don't know what's round the corner. That's why, as a professional sprinkler engineer that's been in this game since 1980, I look out for telltale signs. Not composite signs. I look out for them when I'm trying to work out where we are in the last days. But in my job, I look out for telltale signs that something just doesn't seem to be running like it should. And when I get that feeling that comes across me, and I think, well, didn't do that on the last inspection, so why is he doing it now? I suppose that's the time to have your full wits about you and go into complete safe mode as much as you can to protect yourself. Having said that, an explosion happens in a split second, and being 2 feet away from heavy duty batteries, if they're going to blow, it's going to be quite painful, horrible. In fact, I liken it this way. I'd end up being a sizzling sausage writhing on the ground in agony if they'd have exploded. I think that that's what would have happened to me. And then by the time the paramedics got there, I'd have just been on the ground, sizzling away. Probably dead by the time they get there. Because they don't come right away these days, do they? You hear stories of people that have getting near death and they're still not there to rescue them. But that's the way it is, isn't it? I'm just thankful, thankful that I was spared. That nobody wanted to see me dead that day, Thursday. Well, people, getting closer to the elections. There's so many things happening at the moment. So many things. And there's a lot of conspiracies going around about manipulation of weather and whether it's possible or not. Well, what we do know is that you can seed rain. If you're in a drought-ridden area, then they can send a plane above and they can seed the clouds and purposely bring rain. So we know that they can do manipulations like that. But is there any evidence that they can actually muster up hurricanes, tornadoes, cyclones? Is there any evidence they can do that? Is everything pointing to this CERN? Or is this just completely unproven? No proof at all. Just complete conjecture. And we shouldn't go there. Did you see how quickly Biden came out to attack Trump and anybody that was going around throwing this particular viewpoint out about weather manipulation? So he was using it as an opportunity to ridicule his enemy. And he did that with Springfield, didn't he? When Trump says they're eating dogs and cats, and yet there was certain evidence that they were going into the local reserves and walking back with certain animals and having them for their tea. So, truth sprinkled here and there, mixed in with lies. It's not all complete lies, but you got to just sift between the edges, haven't you, to find out what's really going on. I'm going to leave it there, peeps. Still got a gruffy voice. Looks like I'll never be able to do karaoke again. Not with that. It's just nowhere near smooth enough to do karaoke. I'll never be able to do my Elvis stuff and stuff, like it's now or never, because you need that. You got to get that top note out. Can't do that with a gruffy voice. It's really pissed me off, getting that diesel in my throat. Never been the same since. Just a damaged engineer coming to the end of his working life. But I've got to be there for my ma. You see, that's perhaps, maybe I was spared for that, I don't know. I've got to be there for my ma. I've got to pay back all the good things that my parents have done in their life for me. Even when I've been on the wrong side of the law, I've got to pay back. I've got to be a good son. We've all got to be good children to our parents, no matter who they are and what religion they follow. We've just got to be people. You can't have it on your conscience that you didn't do enough for your mum and dad. I don't want my mum going into a home. Does that mean I've got to give my job up to be her carer? Well, if I have to, maybe I will. I just don't want to go into a home. I don't want that to be the last thing that I see. It was bad enough that my dad went into a home and that's where he died. I don't want that again. That hurts. I mean, it really hurts. You've no idea. Or maybe you have got an idea. Maybe you've been through this, so you probably have a lot of empathy about this. Yeah. Here we go. It's just making a bit of a shape now. It's only been on 2 hours, but it's making shapes. I'm going to make a few shapes in a minute and make myself a cup of tea. That's a good shape, isn't it? Yorkshire tea bags and rich tea biscuits. Oh. Anyway, peeps, I gotta go.